What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. So I wanted to give a shout out to a player who's not getting a lot of kudos right now. A football player by the name of Jimmy Horn Jr., who plays wide receiver for the Colorado Buffaloes. Jimmy Horn Jr. had an extraordinary game yesterday. 7 receptions for 198 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. Nearly 200 yards receiving, which is a dominant type game, right? However, he was overshadowed due to the tremendous catches that his transcendently great teammate Travis Hunter made yesterday, right? And Travis Hunter deserves a lot of credit because he is outstanding. He's box office and he is must-see TV. Him and Shedeur both. But Jimmy Horn Jr., like I'm telling y'all, he's gonna be a mega. He's already shown it, a mega part of this offense, and he's going to make their show even more spectacular on the offensive side of the football because he's a big time playmaker, hard nosed. The only thing I want him to improve on is, the drops, right? Because last year he had some drops, and I think that's kind of turned people away from him a little bit. Last year he had some drops, but he's a big time playmaker. He is, and I think he's capable of great things on the football field. But I think that Shedeur, Travis, and Jimmy Horn Jr. should be talked about as a trio. You know what I mean? I really think he should have been at the podium yesterday after the game because of how well he played, man. He's for sure an NFL receiver. Again, he just got to cut back on the drops, but he's a big time playmaker. For real. He would have had 200 yards if he didn't drop that swing pass. He would have had 200 yards easily. But I think he started running without securing the ball first, and it caused the ball to come. He dropped the ball, right? But again, I watched him play last season. He had 567 receiving yards. He led the team with 6 receiving touchdowns, and he had 58 receptions. But again, I think he fell under the radar because of Xavier Weaver, his teammate, that led them in receiving yards. He's with the Arizona Cardinals right now. Xavier Weaver had 908 receiving yards and 6 total touchdowns, with 4 receiving touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. And then Travis Hunter had 57 receptions for 721 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns, right? But I think now him and Travis are the focal point of the offense. Shedeur, well, of course Shedeur is the quarterback, but Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn Jr. are the focal point of the offense. You're going to see them explode and have some bigger games than this for sure, especially when the focus will be on Travis Hunter. I think he's going to have a lot more big games left to play. Will Colorado, win a ton of these games? I don't know. That shall be seen. I didn't like the way the defense looked in that first half. I didn't like the fact that they could not establish the run well. They have to run. They can't just put all of the onus on Shedeur and Travis and Jimmy to get them out of tough situations and score every time they got the ball. You're not going to get into the end zone every time you get the ball on a drive. You're not, right? And last night it felt like they had to score every single time to push the game out. You know what I mean? So we will see how how Colorado plays going forth. But for Jimmy Horn Jr., I believe his father got sentenced. He watched his father get sentenced. And that's from Prime. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders said that. He watched his father get sentenced to prison, but then came out and balled out his mind. Young brother has great focus, and I think he's going to get even better. You know what I mean? He's a senior this year, and I think he got something to prove. And yeah, he's an NFL receiver for sure, and I think he's going to show y'all that without question. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if the brother had 1,000-yard receiving season. I would be shocked if he had 1,000 yards, if not close to it. I wouldn't be shocked if he had 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000+ yards, because I believe he's a big time playmaker, and I think with the focus on Travis Hunter, he might have some big opportunities for him. You know what I mean? I think he might have some big opportunities for him. He just got to make sure he cuts down on the drops. But he had 1 drop yesterday. He had several drops last season. But I think regardless of that, I think he's a big-time playmaker and a big-time player. And so I do believe he should get a lot of love for how well he played, man. Because, again, almost 200 yards receiving, that's big-time. Coach Prime didn't even realize it. He like, yo, Jimmy almost had 200 yards receiving. Golly. You know what I mean? So it just shows you the capabilities of this young man. And yeah, it just shows you, what I believe is in store. I think the offense is going to be exciting to watch. It was exciting to watch last year. Offense is going to be exciting to watch. My concern for Colorado is the defense, their run game. What else I said I was concerned for? Pass rush as well. The pass rush. They got Warren Sapp as a defensive line coach, so we shall see, how that helps this team, if they will improve. They got like 40-something new players, so they got to get acclimated to each other. They got to get their feet wet a little bit, but they playing a Nebraska team that's not going to lay down, that's not going to fold. They beat Nebraska last year. Nebraska remembers that, so they probably going to come out with a point to prove against Colorado. So we going to see, man, but I want to give love to Jimmy Horn Jr. because he should be celebrated as well as Travis Hunter and Shedeur. But I feel like he's not in a lot of these conversations that's being had on ESPN and a lot of the other major sports networks. They're not bringing his name up. And so I'm a small channel, but I wanted to give love to the brother because, again, almost getting 200 yards. That's phenomenal. And I saw big playmaking abilities in him last season, right? And I think he's going to keep showing the world what he could do now that he is the second option as receiver. Last year, he was the third option behind Xavier Weaver, Travis Hunter. Now he's the second option. I think he's going to show you he's one hell of a second option for a team to have. And I know Coach Prime, I know Shedeur is ecstatic to be throwing to a guy like that. Because when you're throwing to a guy like that, he has playmaking abilities after the catch. He can get you significant yards after the catch. And quarterbacks love guys like that, man. Make me look good, add to my passing yards. You know what I mean? But you got a potential to get into the end zone after you catch the ball. They're going to love you. You become a favorite target like that, even though we know Travis Hunter is the favorite target because of the outstanding passes that he makes. Like that pass in the end zone, he caught in the end zone was crazy. Like pass interference could have been called so many times on the DB, but Travis Hunter caught the ball anyway. He going to win them one-on-one matchups regardless. So, yeah. But, yeah, Jimmy Horn Jr., man. Shout out to the young brother. And best of luck to him. He's an NFL receiver without question. But he's somebody to watch this season for sure.